Hi, I'm Rebecca from engVid, and this is a very special lesson for me and I hope for you as well. In this lesson, I want to give you the vocabulary of respect. What does that mean? I want to show you several words that you can use to express your feelings of gratitude or thankfulness to someone or some people who you know have helped you and who have been kind to you and so on. Now, you can always show your thanks and your gratitude to someone by simply saying thanks or thank you, right? We can use these very basic words, and you should. That's absolutely fine. However, it can be even more meaningful to have some more words to follow up with after that, or to find other ways in which to express these very important feelings and ideas to someone else. Now, the vocabulary that we're going to look at today can be used in your personal life or in your professional life, because we need to express this in all kinds of situations, whether it's to the people who are near and dear to us, our family, our friends, and so on, or whether it's to people we work with, our colleagues, our managers. We need to show and establish a kind of relationship where we express to others the gratitude and the good feelings that we have for things that they have done for us, or for things or for who they are. So I'm going to give you the vocabulary to do that. We're going to do that with 6 main verbs, and then we're going to look at lots of other expressions and collocations that you can combine these verbs with to express these ideas. Okay? So I hope this lesson will interest you and that you will start to use this to express some very important feelings to others. All right. So let's begin here with one of the most commonly used words, and that is this one, appreciate. Okay? So that's a verb that many students do use. I see that in emails and so on. And many people will write something like, thanks, I appreciate it. So what does it mean to appreciate something? It means that you realize that it's important, you realize that it's relevant, and you recognize that it's special, and you want to thank someone a little bit more, and so you appreciate that. Okay, you say, I appreciate it. Now you could simply say, thank you, I appreciate it, if you already described what it is that the other person did for you that you appreciate, that you understand, has value, has importance. Or you can go further and I'm going to give you the vocabulary so that you can be really precise. And that's part of having a more educated vocabulary, a more advanced vocabulary, is being able to describe exactly what it is that you're showing your appreciation for. So let's look at some possibilities. And you could actually start to include this when you're speaking or in an email. All right, so let's look at that. So first of all, let's look at the pronunciation of this word. Okay, it's written like this, but it's pronounced like this, appreciate. Say it after me, appreciate, appreciate. The stress is on appreciate. So the stress is here. Okay, appreciate. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Okay, next. If we're going to be more specific, then we could say something like this. I appreciate your help. That's a sentence by itself. I appreciate your assistance. Assistance is just a little more formal or business-like word for help. Same thing. I appreciate your time. Somebody spent time to help you, to explain something to you, to advise you, to guide you. So you could add that. Or, I appreciate your input or your contribution. Okay? When somebody gave something to you that added to something that you were working on, a project, a report, or something like that, and they gave you their thoughts, their ideas, or their information, or they took part in it, then that's their input, what they put in, or what they contributed. Okay? All right, next. I appreciate your generosity, or I appreciate your donation. Now, donation usually refers to money, but it doesn't have to. So if somebody gave money, you could say, I appreciate your donation. But sometimes people don't just donate money. They can also donate other things. They could donate furniture. They could donate old clothes. They can donate food. All right? That's fine. So then you would say, I appreciate your donation, something that you gave free without making anybody pay, or your generosity. Generosity is the quality of being generous, of somebody who gives with all their heart or gives very easily and openly. And this doesn't have to mean only for physical things. It can also be just for help, for advice, for guidance, for leadership, all kinds of things. They were generous in many ways. Okay? So this is what you could use in that context. Let's look at some more specific things that you could say to thank someone. I appreciate your advice. I appreciate your ideas. They really helped me to find a solution to my problem. Or I appreciate your suggestions. Okay? Or recommendations, and so on. Next, if you did something and then you ask someone to look over it and tell you what they thought, and then they did, you could say, I appreciate your feedback. Okay? They gave you their thoughts on how it was. Or I appreciate your comments. Okay? Next, here we come to some other areas. Okay? And these are now describing not things that somebody did, but qualities that they have. For example, I appreciate your kindness. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. You thought about something beforehand. You thought, you read an article and you realized, I was looking for that information and you forwarded it to me, or something like that. Okay? I appreciate your honesty. Somebody told you exactly how they felt about something. They told you what would help you, what would not help you, or told you the truth about something else. That's important in life, to have people around you who are honest with you. Okay? So these are just some of the many words you could use just with this one verb, appreciate. Okay? Now, we are going to cover other verbs, not just appreciate, because if in every email you write to someone, I appreciate, there's nothing wrong. It's probably the most common one that we use, but there are many other verbs, okay? And we're going to look at these. I value, I admire, I respect, I applaud, and I salute. And on the next board, I'm going to explain to you exactly what those mean and several ways in which you can use some more of these very respectful words to show your respect, your appreciation, and your gratitude and your thankfulness for what someone else did. And this is a wonderful way to not only make your relationships deeper and better, but also to make the world around you and your environment at home or with friends or at work into a much more peaceful and harmonious place. Now let's look at 5 more words that you can use to show your appreciation of what someone has done for you. Okay? So these words are respect, value, admire, salute, and applaud. What do you think would happen if you started to communicate like this? What if you started to use this kind of vocabulary with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues? Do you think that it would make the world a slightly better place? I think so. I try to use this kind of vocabulary in my writing when I talk to people I care about, and I care about most people in the world, okay? So I think it will help you to deepen your relationships and also to express more of what you have in your heart or in your mind about what someone has done for you. Okay, so let's look at these words a little more carefully. So we could say, I respect something. So what does it mean to respect something? It means you have a high opinion of that. You appreciate that. All of these words basically mean appreciation, but in slightly different ways, okay? So here we could say, I respect your opinion. I respect your feelings. You can also respect people, of course. I respect your parents. I respect your family. I respect your team. If you're working in an office, I respect the work that your department does. It means a lot. It's very important for me, or it's very important for our company, okay? Or for our success, things like that. Okay, let's look at some more. I value. Value is like appreciate, maybe a little bit higher even. I value it. I consider it very important, very worthy. It's valuable to me, okay? Just like a diamond ring could have value to somebody, the same way, kindness and help that someone has given you or advice that someone has given you can also be of value to you, okay? So then you could say, I value your judgment. What is judgment? Your ability to understand what's right and wrong, what's good or bad, okay? This is judgment. I value your guidance. You're helping me. I was new in this company. I didn't know what to do. You told me you could do this. You should be aware of this. You could try this. Somebody was guiding you. Somebody was helping to show you the right way forward. Okay? So this is guidance. You could also say to someone, I appreciate our friendship. I appreciate our relationship. Okay? Again, as I said, some of these you can use in the work context and some outside of work. We have a life outside of work as well, which is very important to us. And it's important to also express to those who are closest to us regularly how much we appreciate who they are and how much they mean to us. Okay? Don't wait to do that. Do it. Do it regularly. It will make such a big difference, not only for you, but also for those around you. And then as you communicate like that, people will also communicate with you that way. But don't worry about that. We can only do the right thing. Okay. Next, I admire. I admire your courage. So what does it mean to admire something? You're like, wow, look at that. How did you do that? Like somebody who, I don't know, climbed Mount Everest or did something like that, which was very amazing for that person to have achieved. You say, I admire that. It was so inspiring. I wish I could do something like that. That's when we talk about, I admire that. Okay? So you could say, I admire your courage. You weren't afraid. You were brave, even when you were faced with this difficult situation. I admire your strength. You were strong. Okay? Even when hard times came along, even when there were difficulties, even when there were challenges, you stayed strong. You stayed optimistic. You could say, I admire your optimism. You stayed positive. You believed that good things were going to come. Or, I admire your determination. You had decided that you were going to achieve this goal and you kept going. You didn't give up, even though it was hard. This is to be determined, to have determination. Or, I admire your patience. It took time to receive your goal, to achieve your goal. It took time to receive an answer from someone, but you didn't give up. You were patient. You waited. I admire your patience in that case. Okay? Now we have two other lovely words. I salute. So salute is like this, right? They do this in the army to show respect to a higher official or in any kind of situation like that. But we don't only have to use it in those situations. All right? We can also use it in general to express what? That, wow, I look up to you. I respect you. I salute you. You can say that. If somebody did something or said something really amazing, you can say, I salute you. That means you're showing your respect towards that person or whatever their actions or achievements were. So you could also say, I salute your decision. I salute your vision. Somebody has a view that's bigger, some ideas or innovations which are going to change the world, which are going to improve things for others. This is a vision that someone has. Or I salute your compassion, your caring for other people around the world, okay, from your heart, understanding what they're going through, helping them. Or I salute your wisdom, okay, how wise somebody is. Not just your intelligence, but your wisdom, knowing, understanding the difference between right and wrong, and so many other things, okay? So that's why we talk about wise people, wise elders, and so on. Next, I applaud. So what does it mean to applaud? Like this, right? What you do after a concert or a show or something, you applaud or you clap. So this is called applauding physically when we go to a concert or something. But when we say, I applaud your performance, it also means the same thing like I appreciate it. Because when an audience claps, what are they trying to show? They're trying to show that they appreciate what they've just heard, what somebody just performed, right? But you could also say that to your colleague. Let's suppose that your colleague did a fantastic job at a presentation and got the contract, okay? Got a new client. You could say, I applaud your performance. It's a way of saying, I think you did a fantastic job. You did a great job. I applaud you. I applaud your performance. I applaud your creativity in coming up with these ideas, in creating these solutions, okay? Your creativity. I applaud your efforts, your hard work. Or I applaud your talent. You are so talented. You have such amazing abilities that you show again and again. All right? So look at the very, very many ways in which we can compliment and express our gratitude to other people for the many things that they have done. And when you look around you can probably find someone or some people in your life, either at home or at work or somewhere else, who you can express your appreciation to. So I hope that this lesson has given you some of the vocabulary that you can use to express those ideas. All right? So perhaps in the comments you could write something to express your appreciation for different people in your life. What would you say? What would you say to your parents? What would you say to your siblings, your brothers, sisters, your friends, your manager? Perhaps there's a manager who's been extremely helpful. It doesn't always have to be just a family member or a friend. Who would you like to thank? How would you do that? Use some of this vocabulary. Tell someone today or write to someone today. Use some of this vocabulary and you'll start to see so much change and positive change in your relationship and in your satisfaction, not only in your career, but also in life in general. Okay? I wish you the very best. Thanks very much. And I would like to show my appreciation and express my appreciation to you, to tell you thank you for watching. Thank you for caring enough about improving your English to make your life better, to make your career better, to help your family more. All right? So thank you very much. I appreciate your watching. Thank you and all the best. Bye for now.